Following unrest in Cuba,
people are hungry, homes are crumbling. There is no economy. There is no real economy in Cuba.
the Cuban community planning a huge rally in South Florida. Search teams reaching the bottom.
Given the current pace, it appears very likely that the site will be cleared a lot sooner than many expected.
As a site of tragedy becomes sacred in Surfside. And an influx of donations to Surfside.
It's also going to help many people.
Turning over and helping others at local homeless shelters. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Zitlali Solache, and today is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Cuba fighting for freedom as conditions on the island return violent. Meanwhile, residents in South Florida rallying in support. With protests sweeping the nation, demonstrators are battling governmental forces, the economy, and food shortages. The network's Livan Balmaceda reports from West Miami-Dade on the organized rally later today.
Sunday, and then again Monday, big crowds lined the streets calling for change, showing their support for those in Cuba protesting against their government. President Biden expressed his support for the residents and families today, and says the U.S. is standing in solidarity with them in their fight for justice.
The United States stands firmly with the people of Cuba as they assert their universal rights, and we call on the government of Cuba to refrain from violence or attempts to silence the voice of the people of Cuba.
Senator Marco Rubio criticized the Cuban government's policies and says the conditions on the island are a violation of basic human rights that must come to an end.
Give up your freedom for economic security. What economic security? People are hungry, homes are crumbling. There is no economy. There is no real economy in Cuba. Give up your freedom and you'll have an education, free education for everybody. That education, number one, you're a doctor. You can drive a taxi cab in Cuba and make more money. Or number two, you get forced to go overseas and work basically on slave wages, no pay, barely any pay at all. It's basically human trafficking.
In Surfside, Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levin Cava doubled down on her support for Cuban protesters and assured them that South Florida is standing for the people.
We stand united with the Cuban people on the island and all across our own community at this historic moment in the struggle for freedom, dignity, and basic human rights.
Miami demonstrators will gather here in Tamiami Park in West Dade today at 5 p.m. to support the unprecedented uprising in the island. This is Livan Balmaceda for South Florida Media Network.
As teams continue to work in Surfside, they have now reached lower layers of the Champlain Towers south. Video provided by Miami-Dade Fire Rescue shows Florida Task Force removing a vehicle from the debris.
I think that's the right thing to do because it's obvious that this has become much more than a collapsed building site. It is a holy site.
This morning, the death toll has reached 94 and 22 people remain potentially unaccounted for. As donations for Surfside continue to flow in, the Miami Rescue Mission Homeless Shelter is benefiting from the abundance. The network's Joanna Ravici has more on where these donations will be allocated.
The Shul of Bal Harbor announced that they received too many donations for the victims of the Surfside collapse that they started to tell the people to donate everything to the Miami Rescue Mission for the people needed. South Florida streets are full of people in need of donations. These people don't have any house to live, so they tend to be in the streets. This is why the Miami Rescue Mission Center was created, to help that type of people by providing them some help to change their lives. Clothing like jackets, socks, and underwear were donated by the Surfside community, as well as pillows, backpacks, and more. The Homeless Center received so many donations that they started to provide water and food services for the rescuers of Surfside.
We're accepting the donations from the overflow from Surfside, which was an unfortunate tragedy, but because they've received so many, now we're receiving that. And it's also going to help many people. And in turn, we actually were able to give bottled water. We were taking cases of water over to Surfside with our food services coordinator to be able to give that to the first responders and to anyone in need when they were starting to do the recovery and the rescues.
The vision of the center is that no one is homeless, so their main mission is to transform lives of people needed through comprehensive programs. If you want to help the people needed, you can bring donations to the Miami Rescue Center located at Wynwood. Joanna Rabachi from South Florida Media Network.
This morning, the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine raises more concerns as investigators found a potential link to a rare neurological complication. The CDC and the FDA found that the neurological complications known as Guillain-Barré syndrome can cause muscle weakness and possible paralysis. The FDA updated the vaccine label to state the possibility of the syndrome. The CDC still encourages people to get the COVID vaccine despite the concerns. Florida this morning is listed among the states where COVID cases are rising. Doctors saying the majority of people are younger individuals who are unvaccinated. They also found that the lower a state's vaccination rate, the higher the case count. According to data from the past week, a third of the cases in the U.S. are coming from 5 hotspots: Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Nevada, and our home state, Florida. The celebration continues this morning after Tampa Bay fans attended a boat parade on the Hillsburg River. Thousands of fans gathered with their boats to celebrate last week's as Tampa Bay defeated the Montreal Canadiens to become the NHL champions a second time in a row. Accidentally breaking in and cleaning the wrong apartment, leaving a couple speechless and with a spotless pad. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I didn't think anybody was really going to notice it because we had just did one sign and then it went pretty crazy.
Employees at this fast food chain having it their way and making a big statement to management. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. What? My.
Sorry.
Oh.
Burger King employees creating a sign of the times and going viral over an unusual resignation. A photo gone viral on social media of a Burger King sign in Lincoln, Nebraska. The sign saying, "We all quit, sorry for the inconvenience." Manager Rachel Flores says the staff had been upset about the AC not working in the kitchen, and that ended her up in the hospital for dehydration.
I didn't think anybody was really going to notice it because we had just did one sign and then it went pretty crazy on Facebook and I got a call from my upper management and they told me I needed to take it down. That's, it was like right at the beginning of lunch and I was like, I don't have time to do that. We're short staffed.
After a total of 6 hours, the sign was replaced with "Now hiring, flexible schedules. The Tooth Fairy may bring money under your pillow, but this fairy fluffs your pillows. They are calling Louis Angelino III the cleaning fairy because he accidentally cleaned the wrong house in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Here's what happened. The house Louis was supposed to clean had a key under the mat, and so did the house he accidentally went to. He cleaned the entire house and even played with the 2 cats, but when he called his customer, he realized that he had cleaned a stranger's apartment. The couple came home absolutely surprised that their home was broken into, but instead of being cleaned out, it was completely clean. That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.